Anyways, welcome back to the Pursuit of Yappiness. This is the... Wait. I'm Daytona.
I'm Michaela.
And this is a podcast where we yap.
And you listen.
Yeah. Okay. So you better listen good. Because boy, do we have a show for you.
Yeah. Yes. Wow.
So... how about that 911 episode?
Woof. Okay, so spoilers for 911
and 911 Nashville.
Yeah, there was a crossover. So it's season 9, episode 11.
Yeah, I think so.
Of 911, and then season 1, episode 12 of 911 Nashville, and. I don't even know where to start with this. Okay. So Buck and Eddie get nominated to participate in basically American Ninja Warrior, but for firefighters. Which is a concept all in its own.
Yeah. Yes.
So they go to Nashville to be in this competition.
Yes.
And Buck takes it way too seriously.
He was like, what was he doing?
He was like,
yeah, like he was like
pounding energy
like,
drinks and like, yeah,
and was like shouting like a gorilla. And I was just like, what is going on right now?
And the reasoning from the 911 episode is that he really doesn't want to let Bobby down because Bobby nominated them for this before he died.
Right.
But if you just watch the Nashville episode where the actual competition happens, you don't know any of that backstory.
And so it seems like he's just a crazy person. Yeah. And like the dialogue was so bad. So
it was
bad.
Terrible.
And their accents were terrible.
Yeah.
I need a boost. Come on, Blue.
Yeah, the one guy's name was Blue.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, the people of Nashville, do you really speak that way? Because I couldn't possibly think that is accurate.
It was like a sexy firefighter calendar was made into a game show. That's the vibes that it gave me.
Yes.
And the ad was like, it was sexier than ever. Like,
yeah, that's what it was.
Than ever, and it has like a pan of
what was
people
it? It
shirtless.
was like it's sizzling hot or something. Yeah. This week's episode of 911 will be sizzling hot, and then it was just a montage of shirtless firefighters
because they're firefighters.
Yeah, and it was just like okay.
Yeah. And then the whole competition was all grown men acting like children.
Oh, yeah.
Like getting into fights over stuff. And it's like, dude, you are literally having a competition of who can climb a ladder the fastest. Are you 12?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, of course, by the end, they're all friends. But it was just like, how long can this penis measuring contest go on
for?
It
was crazy. And then the end, like... Well, and first off, okay, Eddie is like, at least to my knowledge, is not typically like a womanizer kind of character.
He's not at the beginning because he's in like a complicated on and off again relationship with his wife. Like at the beginning, he's married.
Right. And his wife dies.
Well, before she dies, she leaves him. And then she comes back and then they break up again and then she dies.
I see.
And then after he dies, he has a couple of like girlfriends that only last for a short time.
Okay.
But where we're at now, like pretty much ever since he came back from Texas, he hasn't had like a stable relationship.
Right.
And so Buck keeps trying to get him to go out there and meet women, but I mean,
obviously there's a number of problems with that.
Yes. But, it's just Buck trying to deflect because if Eddie's in a relationship, then I don't have to think about my feelings for him. But anyway, so we were like, Daytona and I were like, maybe this is the thing that like gets them to realize they have feelings for each other is they have to go on a road trip together.
Right.
But there was they barely even spoke to each other.
No.
The whole thing was just the stupid competition.
I thought that like the actual 911 episode was going to be like the journey of them getting
right.
there.
Yeah, like the road trip.
My hopes were too high, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I was like, oh, maybe they'll be in a shared hotel room. Nope. It was like the first thing of when they were in Nashville.
There's only one bedroom.
He knocked on Buck's door, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?
I know. And at the end of the episode, they were super drunk. So I was like, maybe there's going to be a drunk
kiss.
Confession or something. Yeah,
kiss.
But instead, Buck ended up chatting up a woman who was old enough to be his mother.
Like twice his age.
Yeah.
And I was like, ew, bro, no.
You're really getting desperate, scraping the bottom of the barrel like anybody you can pretend to be into except for Eddie.
Yeah. I'm like, and he was like, oh, my friend was just leaving. And it was just like, what?
Ew.
But you were saying that's technically not out of character for Buck,
right?
In the sense,
yes. So Daytona was really like taken off guard by the fact that this woman was so old, and I was like, well, the very first love interest that Buck had in season 1 was a woman named Abby. She was the first 911 dispatcher character before Maddie came into it. And she probably wasn't old enough to be his mother per se, but she was much older than him.
Right. Well, and at the beginning of the show, he's like, what, 18?
20? Yeah, something like that. And they date for a while. Right. And she's taking care of her ailing mother with dementia. And then when her mother eventually passes she goes on this self-discovery
love
to Europe, and they're just doing like a texting phone call relationship while she's away, and like the plan was always that she would eventually come back, but basically she ghosts him, and I think it was just because the actress left the show.
Yeah,
but he has this whole crisis of like not even knowing if they're together anymore because they barely even talk anymore and whatever. So that eventually he just like accepts that she's not coming back. And then there's an episode where Buck is on a train. I forget where he's going. It's probably not even important. And there's a train crash. And it's like this huge disaster. Like multi-casualty, multiple fire stations responding, whatever. And he's in the train. And so, of course, he's helping to rescue people because he's magically unharmed.
Right.
And he rescues Abby, the woman he used to date.
Right.
And he's like he has all these feelings of like, you didn't even tell me you were back in the country.
Right.
Like, what is going on? And then it turns out that she was on the train with her fiance.
Right.
And Buck has to go rescue her fiance.
Crazy.
And he like, comes to terms with the fact that they weren't going to work out, and they ride off into the sunset, and he's left behind crying, whatever.
Right.
And then a few seasons later, when Buck finally has his bisexual awakening and he's dating a man, he's like sees pictures of this man, his name's Tommy, with Abby, and he's like, how did you know Abby? And it turns out that Abby was engaged to Tommy before she met Buck.
Needs to get her situation straight.
Yeah, it's funny because like in season 1 when she's with Buck, she mentions her fiance, her ex-fiance,
right?
But I don't think she mentions that the reason they broke up is because he was actually gay, and then he later ends up dating Buck.
LA is such a big city. So many people live there.
I know.
How is this even possible?
Because of the drama, Daytona.
I know.
It wouldn't be dramatic if not everybody didn't know each other.
That's crazy.
I know. And then there's a part where, like, before he figures that out, before Buck figures out that they used to date, Tommy mentions his ex-fiance, who, like, after he realized he was gay, they broke up. Then his fiance had a crisis and dated a himbo for a while, and it turns out the himbo was Buck.
That's funny.
Which I think is very funny.
I mean, that tracks, yeah. Buck would definitely be qualified as a himbo.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
He's, yeah. Except for the fact that he's way too competitive. He's like, the dream man from any romance.
Yeah,
whatever.
he's a cutie for sure. And like the cute little like scar that he's got going
it's like
on
a birthmark
his
or
face.
something.
Yeah, birthmark. I'm not really sure what it is. It's very cute.
Yeah.
It does a lot. It carries a lot of weight. It's very important to me.
It's important to the plot as well,
As is Eddie's like wraparound arm tattoo that he has.
Yeah. This
also
episode, Buck has so many tattoos, and I do not remember them being there on any.
He just keeps getting them.
Yeah, I guess.
And it could be the actors' tattoos also.
Maybe, but usually they cover them up if
Right.
they're not part of the characters, whatever.
Maybe the character likes getting tattoos.
Like, doesn't Hudson Williams or Connor Story, one of them has like 1 million tattoos, and they had to cover them all every scene that they were,
I
like,
think
naked.
Hudson has a lot of tattoos.
Yeah. Imagine being the makeup artist who has to like apply foundation to a man's thigh every day.
Yeah. Well, and like, I don't know, with leg hair, I feel like that could get complicated because like the hair can't be like painted, just the skin.
There has to be a makeup technique where you use like powder or something and then, like, blow it off the hairs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm making this up, but there has to be something.
We need to find out.
Yeah. Because there are people who like just normal non-actor people who like cover their tattoos on their arms and stuff for work.
Right.
And whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they just shave the hair off.
Maybe.
And then add it back in with CGI or something.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're a makeup artist, let us know.
Yeah. I know. I remember when I lived out west and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a job working at In-N-Out. But you have to be able to wear their uniform without any tattoos showing.
Why?
I have no idea because
it's like a fast food
they're
place.
a Christian organization.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's Bible verses on every single like
packaging,
like wrapper packaging. Yeah.
I think you can have tattoos and work at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I don't know, but apparently In-N-Out feels differently about it.
Wow. That seems like a really
Chick-fil-A's gone woke.
Seems like a really stupid hill to die on. Like that you're not gonna hire someone because they have tattoos.
There's a lot of stupid hills that Christians die on, to be fair.
Wow. So. Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. We'll be here all day.
Yeah. The episode would never end.
Seriously. Yikes. Okay, so that's it for our 911 update. But I have another update. Remember when I mentioned that there's a Don'ts for Wives?
Yeah.
I tried to order it on Amazon and it never arrived.
Okay, I was wondering where we were at in that saga.
So I ordered it like the end of January and then it said it was going to arrive February 20th, but it said like should be arriving February 20th, and I was like, okay, that seems very unspecific. And February 20th obviously has come and gone.
Yeah. Like a long time ago.
Yeah. And I just kind of forgot about it, but today I went on Amazon and tried to like say, hey, I never got this item or whatever. And the only option it would give me was to get a refund. And I was like, I don't want a refund. I want my book that I ordered.
Yeah.
And so I tried to chat with them and I typed like, it said, do you want a refund? Please let us know if this is acceptable. And I typed back, can I get another one sent to me? I'd rather have the book instead of a refund. And they were like, thank you for telling us that a refund is okay. We'll be sending that to you.
Oh, dang.
It's like, okay.
I wonder if we can get it as like an ebook.
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of want it. It's like a cute little hand.
Yeah.
book.
I know, but I just want to read it.
I know. Yeah. I can try. I'm going to try to order it again. The problem is that it's sold through a third party seller.
Right.
So I can try to find a different seller and order it from them. Or maybe I could find it on like Thrift Books or Etsy or something besides Amazon. But because I want to bring the content to the people, you know. But I'm limited.
Anyway, sorry.
So that's the update on that. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit before we can add that to the pod. But Also, my husband is listening to the podcast and he is quite a few episodes behind, but he's been giving me feedback.
Oh boy.
On stuff
Like what?
that we've mentioned that he's like, actually.
Oh my gosh.
He's a bit of a Renaissance man. He knows a lot about a lot of random stuff. There was one episode where we were like talking about Saudi Arabia and we were like, east of Saudi Arabia, what is that, Turkey? And he was like, no, that's not Turkey. It's like, okay.
I don't remember talking about Saudi Arabia.
I don't remember. I don't know why we were talking about it. But he was like, no, that's like, I think he said like northwest. Of course, I'm going to get it wrong again. And he's going to be like, no, you don't know where Turkey is. But if the people care where Turkey is located, they can Google it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that he mentioned that I felt was maybe important, when we were talking about Taylor Swift's albums and how people thought that the lightning bolts were Nazi references.
Yes.
And we were like, what do you mean? The Nazis never used lightning bolts.
Did they actually?
Apparently, they used for the SS, the like secret police, they use these ancient Germanic runes as the SS logo. It's a double S, but it's like angular runic looking, so it looks kind of like a double lightning bolt instead of an S. And so that apparently got stylized, and so it looks similar, I guess, to the symbols that are on the album.
Well,
and I was like, babe, not like there have been tons of people who have used the lightning bolt symbol on their album and nobody has ever accused them of being Nazis. He was like, listen, I'm not saying they're onto something, but it's closer than you might think.
Wow. That's so, but still, it's like I'm tired.
I know. He wasn't saying that we shouldn't, like, that we should believe that Taylor Swift is a Nazi.
Right.
But I thought it was an interesting fact.
That is interesting. Huh.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Well, we love all the updates. Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, you need to write these down because you're just telling them to me casually as you think of them. I'm not going to remember them the next time I'm recording.
Yeah.
To, like, correction, whatever.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Something. I got nothing. I'm just here.
I found a cool article.
Okay.
I want to talk about. So,
hit me with it.
Project Hail Mary. Great book by Andy Weir. Love it. If you're a fan of The Martian, either the book or the movie, you should read this book and then go see the movie in theaters starring Ryan Gosling. But so I reread the book recently, so I've been thinking a lot about space, astronauts, space travel, etc. And I found this article that was talking about how there are people in Austria, scientists in Austria, that use fungus to extract valuable metals from electronic and industrial wastes.
Okay.
So it's like a way to kind of recycle and get the metal back out.
Okay.
This article is written by Andy Corbley. It's on Good News Network.
Okay.
People were wondering if they could use that sort of technique in order to harvest metals from asteroids or like space debris. Because when they build the ISS, or when they, I guess I shouldn't say build, when they like need to repair it or send it supplies or whatever, it's so expensive and resources heavy to launch stuff into space that they were like, if we could harvest the metals out of space and then they'd already be up there and we wouldn't need to transport them.
There you go.
So they were like, could we use this method? Obviously, fungus does not grow in space.
Right.
But they've discovered a way to extract platinum and palladium with microbe mining.
Oh.
So it's microbe meteorite mining. NASA astronaut Michael Scott Hopkins was conducting tests on an alchondrite meteorite samples, which has long been theorized as a valuable source of minerals of all kinds. And the article is talking about how they there's a team of researchers from Cornell and Edinburgh universities. They published a paper in which they performed the same experiment in tandem with Hopkins. Both used a bacterium and a fungus to successfully harvest two precious metals with demand for space technology and hardware, platinum and palladium, from asteroids. So the organisms, the like bacteria or whatever it is, produce carboxylic acids which attach themselves to minerals on the asteroids, and then when they put it in liquid, the acid like pulls the minerals out of the rocks or whatever. So they're gonna use this like fungus, basically like not mushrooms but like single cell whatever it is. The experiment on the ISS found that microgravity enhanced the fungus Penicillium simplicimum. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Ability to uptake and release palladium and platinum, showing that bioleaching, the technical term behind microbe mining, is for one reason or many more effective in space than on Earth.
Wow.
Right.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought
Reduce,
it was really
reuse,
cool.
Recycle.
It was like literally something that Andy Weir would write into a book. Like a sci-fi type of thing.
That's very cool.
So that, it also made me think of The Expanse, because there's like a whole society in The Expanse that's like asteroid mines, basically. So we're one step closer to sci-fi with bacteria that harvest metals in
At
space.
least it's like one step closer to good sci-fi, not the bad kind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I think every day we're diving deeper into...
Every day we get closer to Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not good. But that's good. That's good news.
Yeah. I try to only pick out the positive or the at least neutral articles to bring up on the podcast, because we all see the negative stuff all day. Yeah,
I did see an article. It was so weird. It made me laugh. It was basically... Love a weird article. So this is on AP News. Finnish pear, like Finnish, Finnish, like people
the country.
Yes. Wins a barrel of ale in annual wife carrying contest in England.
I'm sorry, Finnish pear?
Pair, like a couple.
Oh, I was picturing a fruit from Finland. Okay. Wow, we're on a roller coaster here.
I know. I'm so sorry. So basically, in, get this, Dorking, England, they have an annual wife carrying competition.
Oh my gosh.
And they have to carry their wife or girlfriend up and down a hillside for the wife carrying race. And Timu Tuvinen and Jada Lenonen from Finland were crowned the winners at 1 minute and 45 seconds. I wonder how big this hill is.
Yeah, that seems really fast.
Seems really fast. But their prize is a bucket of, or a barrel of local ale.
Wow.
Okay, wait, and I guess racers can be males or females carrying anyone over 18 and weighing at least 50 kilos. Those under that weight need to wear a rucksack filled with flour or water to bring them to the minimum weight.
Wow.
You do not have to carry your own wife. It can be someone else's, or a mate, girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, or brother.
So literally just person carrying contest.
They should ideally weigh less than you do. Couples can choose their carrying technique.
Wow.
Although most contestants favored the traditional Estonian hold, where the wife hangs upside down on the carrier's back with their legs crossed in front of its face.
What? How do they see?
I don't know. The course is 416 yards long.
Wow.
Yeah.
A minute. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I certainly couldn't go that fast carrying my husband on my back.
Yeah. Just, like, here's a picture of...
Wow. They're literally just upside down hanging.
At least they were only upside down for a minute and 45 seconds. Like, what if you just, like, pass out?
I like to call that the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. Anakin carries Obi-Wan hold, and he, like, wakes up dangling inside the elevator shaft.
Oh, man, I need to rewatch
what
Star
we
Wars.
need to do
It's been so long.
is watch Backstroke of the West. Have I told you about this?
No.
Okay. So, Revenge of the Sith, episode 3 of the prequels.
Yep.
There was, let me see if I can get this straight. There was a bootleg copy of it that was like made in somewhere in China. They made a bootleg copy of it where they like dubbed it over into Chinese and distributed it on the black market.
Got it.
Then somebody took it and put the literal translation of the dubbed Chinese version into subtitles.
Okay.
So it's the English subtitles translating the bootleg Chinese dialogue.
Yes. Okay.
Then somebody, I think it was just a fan on YouTube, took those subtitles and dubbed it into English so that it's like a horrible like it makes no sense. But because Revenge of the Sith is one of the worst movies, it is the funniest, most entertaining version of that movie that you can get. Especially, I mean, it's a super long movie, so you don't have to watch the whole thing, but just like the opening sequence where they're like in the fighters above Coruscant and then they crash and whatever. And it's so funny because for whatever reason, however the Chinese works out, like the Jedi Order, for example, the Jedi Order is the Presbyterian Church. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Anakin's name is a la Gold.
Okay.
And like,
interesting.
Obi-Wan is Prosperous Ratio. That's his name. And so like just stuff like
Prosperous Ratio.
Yes. It's very, very funny. We should watch it sometime.
Yeah, we should.
Or at least the beginning part.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. But back when I was in my like Star Wars phase in 8th grade where I was just like absolutely obsessed with everything Star Wars.
Yes.
I was reading a lot of novelizations of the movies.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what the guy's name is that wrote these. Matthew Stover. I had a book that was like 4 or 5 novels put together, and the last one was Revenge of the Sith. It was all like about Anakin and the Sith and whatever. But there is a scene, I probably haven't read this book since 2009. There's a scene in that book that I think about at least monthly, which is the scene where they're in the elevator shaft. Obi-Wan is hanging upside down over Anakin's shoulder and wakes up from being unconscious with his face right at Anakin's butt. And just like the way that he wrote like Obi-Wan's inner thoughts as he's like gaining consciousness, the first thing he sees is his butt, and then he looks up and there's just an elevator shaft stretching and then he looks over and sees like the Emperor of the Universe like hanging next to them in the elevator shaft. It is the funniest thing. I highly recommend this book because the way that it was written, first of all, top tier dramatic writing, but then also just little moments like of humor like that, where it's really needed in a very serious subject matter. Top tier. Matthew Stover's novelizations of these movies were very, very funny and good.
That's great. So you think the episode 3 is the worst one?
I mean, it's really hard to determine. All the prequels are pretty bad. It's okay. They're all really bad, but they're bad in different ways.
Okay.
So like episode 3 is really bad because it does so much tell not show, where there's just like long dialogue,
a lot of dialogue,
court proceedings, whatever.
Right.
Where it's like you could have gotten this point across in a much more effective and interesting way rather than like having us sit through the entire Senate hearing of whatever.
Right.
Stuff like that. The second one is bad because of the weird romance that's happening.
Right.
I mean, the third one also has very cringy romance moments as well. But in the second one, it's like new romance. So it's even worse.
Right.
And then the first one just has really awkward dialogue. And children who are not great at acting.
Are you an angel?
Ew. And a really long pod race scene.
It is long.
So long.
It is long.
At least the first one has Qui-Gon Jinn. I always liked him as a character.
I do love Qui-Gon, yes.
And the operatic the operatic music is really cool.
Yes.
And Darth Maul, they really did him dirty because he would have been a really cool villain, but they just like didn't develop him enough. I have thoughts and feelings. We can talk about this forever.
I'm happy to hear them. I will say Anakin not in the first one, obviously, more like the third, was one of my sexual
the hair?
Yeah. One of my sexual awakening characters.
Absolutely, yes.
So I just have those movies have a special place for me for that reason. I was obsessed.
I mean, Hayden Christensen is pretty attractive, especially with the hair.
Yes.
But I also feel like he's a good actor. They just didn't give him a lot to work with in these movies. Like the dialogue was pretty bad.
Right.
I'm trying to remember.
It's coarse.
I mean, that's a classic
everywhere.
line, but it's just so dramatic.
I know.
And
and then like, I don't know. Yeah. The second one, definitely not my favorite because they're just like rolling around in the grass.
Yeah,
and
it's like they tried to do a cute rom-com moment, but it's like, this isn't a rom-com. You're in the wrong movie.
Yes.
And the thing where he floats the pear chunk across the table and he stabs it with his fork, or she stabs it and like eats it delicately. It's like, ugh, what are you doing? What's the guy's name? Why am I completely blanking? The actor who is in all the movies that are really terrible, and he's like known for doing really terrible movies. And he's in Nicolas Cage. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, give me the movies that he's in.
I'm trying to remember. There's a movie that Hayden Christensen and Nicolas Cage were in together.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's called Outcast, 2014.
Okay. Never saw
It's
this
an action-adventure film starring Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen as two weary crusaders who help a fugitive Chinese prince and his sister fight their ruthless older brother. So it takes place during the Crusades, and they're like, Christian Catholic knights out to kill the Muslims, whatever.
Huh.
But Hayden Christensen is an opium addict in this movie. Which is like, a choice.
Yeah.
Time period appropriate because they're in Asia during like, the height of opium.
Right.
But if you look up the like, not title page, like the posters,
like
the art, the posters for it. Nicolas Cage has this nasty ponytail.
Oh no.
And Hayden Christensen looks like a hunk.
Let's see.
And of course they're both covered in grime and holding swords, but
this one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so
he looks like he could be a character on 911.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like barely recognizable.
Yeah.
I think when I watched this movie, it wasn't until he talked that I realized it was him, because his mouth moves in a very specific way.
I didn't realize he was Canadian.
Hayden Christensen? I didn't either.
Yeah. This is a Canadian actor. You know,
interesting.
He's very handsome.
But I feel like he and Robert Pattinson were both like, they're good actors, but they're like, the most famous role was really bad.
It was really bad.
And so then they kind of are struggling to get out from under the effects of it.
Right.
Robert Pattinson, I think, has succeeded. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But Hayden Christensen hasn't been in nearly as many movies.
No. Well, and I just feel that, like, the Star Wars prequels did not have the same grip on the average teenage girl as, like, in the same way that Twilight did.
Yeah.
Twilight didn't have a grip on me, but the Star Wars prequels did.
Yeah. So. You know why? It's because the Twilight books are primarily romance.
Yeah.
Like, that's the genre.
Right.
So, you know, the girlies who are
I guess
for the romance.
I wasn't allowed to read them or watch them.
Yeah.
So,
I was allowed to, but my mom, like, had this whole, like, she sat me down and was like, you know, if you really feel that you want to do it, we're going to let you, but you just have to know, like, if there's anything in there that makes you feel uncomfortable, you can stop at any time. It was like this whole big dramatic conversation. And I was like, okay, I'll read them just to see what all the hype is about.
Yeah.
I made it like 3 chapters in. I was like, this writing is terrible. And I never went back. I never read any of the rest. I did later in life, I think in college, I watched the movies because my friends were like, you've never seen the Twilight movies? They were all horrendous.
Yeah. I've seen the first 3, maybe?
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Maybe 4. Because how many are there?
I think there's 4. Well, there's 4 books, but the last one was in 2 movies, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I saw the first one. I saw the second one. And then I saw the third one in theater. So I was in Montana at the time visiting my grandparents. And my cousins were like, we're going to go see Twilight in the movie theater, so we need to have a movie night and you need to watch these. And I was like, well, I'll watch them, but we can't tell my mom. And so we watched them and then went and saw the third one in the theater when it came out.
Right.
Which was in, like, I don't know, 2010 or something.
The third movie, Eclipse, came out in 2010.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Breaking Dawn,
summer of 2010.
Part 1 was 2011, Part 2 was 2012.
Okay, yeah. I never finished it. All I know is that she has a baby, and
it's a weird CGI.
It's a weird, creepy baby.
Yeah,
and it's named like cool. Renesmee or something. Yeah, but I think then, like, I don't know. I always see clips and like Jacob, I guess, named her Nessie after the Loch Ness monster, and like Bella is always like, you named my baby after the Loch Ness monster, and is always like really mad about it. And then
because
also,
the baby
it, like bonded to him, like there's like a mating bond or something.
It imprints on him like a baby bird. But it's not a mating bond. It's like a he'll be whatever she needs him to be type of bond.
Okay.
So he's like her older brother, protector, guardian. Okay. Whatever.
That makes me feel a lot better, because I always would hear people say that like, oh, like they're bonded, and my only reference is like mating bond in like books and stuff, and I was like, wait,
no, because she's like an infant when this happens.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, ew, what? Like,
I know. I can't remember. They don't really go into it in the movie, and I never watched the book. Read the book. But I think there's a thing, because the werewolves are immortal too, just like the vampires, right? Or are they not?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. All I know is that I did not find Edward attractive at all.
Absolutely not.
But no. I thought Jacob was hot. So,
I mean, I
had a big thing for Taylor Lautner. Okay. Lautner. I don't know how to say it. When I was a kid, because I saw him in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and I thought he was so handsome. And I also loved him in Cheaper by the Dozen too.
Oh.
Love his work.
Wow.
But he was like an actor that was like near my age.
Yeah, he's
you know?
like a child heartthrob.
Yes,
whatever.
Exactly. And so I was like, oh, so handsome.
It makes sense. I didn't really think either of them were attractive in the Twilight movies. However, the whole concept of vampire versus werewolf, I'm like, obviously the werewolf is the choice. To me, it's a no-brainer whether you can have someone who turns into a giant snuggly dog or someone who wants to suck your blood.
Yeah.
Like, this is really not a contest for me. There's even a bunch of parts where, like, Bella is, like, freezing to death, and Edward has to get Jacob to come in and snuggle with her because he can't keep her warm because he doesn't have body heat.
He's cold.
Yeah. And so,
well, and aren't they like sparkly too?
In
like,
the sunlight.
In the sunlight.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't know.
It was just weird. Yeah, I don't know.
The best
weird movies.
The best vampire in literature is Terry Pratchett. Because his vampires are the way that he treats all of the normal tropes of like garlic and sunlight and whatever is that the vampires are this like, you know, countess rich family, and it's the 2 parents and 2 kids, and the dad is convinced that like all of these anti-vampire methods only work because the vampires believe that they will work. And so he's like raised his children to be like immune to garlic, immune to like holy water, all this stuff.
Love it.
And he just has to like train it out of them, and then they're just like normal, except they suck blood every once in a while.
That's funny.
But then of course they're the bad guys, and so then the good guys try to use all the normal stuff, and it doesn't work, and so it's like a whole dramatic thing. But I just thought that concept was so funny. There's like all these whole sequences where he like the dad is trying to get them to use like mind exercises to like train themselves out of the fear of the stake and like all this stuff, and it's just so good. It was just a really clever twist on it because I feel like it's so overdone at this point, the vampire trope, and it's like when you have an in-universe vampire, you have to decide, okay, is this universe like classic Bram Stoker vampire, or is it like, you know, Twilight dumb watered down vampire? Right. Yeah, I just thought that
I
was
really like
funny.
the vampire in Hotel Transylvania. Have you ever seen those movies?
I saw the first one. I'm trying to remember what the vampire is like though.
They're very silly. He's played by Adam Sandler. So if that tells you anything.
It's the dad, right?
Yes.
His
name is Drac.
Right.
And everyone always makes fun of him, and they say he says blah blah blah, and he's like, no, I don't say that. It's just a whole thing. Yeah, interesting movies. Andy Samberg is also in that movie, as is Selena Gomez.
Wow.
A very
the whole gang.
Yeah. So yeah, no, they're interesting movies. My siblings watched them a lot as kids, which is why I have seen them many times.
Yeah. We all have those movies.
Yep.
That we've seen a bajillion times.
Yep.
Mine are The Lion King, Balto, which you've never seen, right? We still need to watch that. And Homeward Bound 1 and 2.
Those I have seen. Yes. Good movies. Good movies.
I recently discovered that their original Homeward Bound that came out in like the 80s or something is on Netflix, and I really want to watch it because it's like the OG.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah. My childhood comfort movies were Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2, Freaky Friday, Madagascar, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I also enjoyed the Spy Kids movies. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. And
of those, I would have gone for Madagascar because my go-tos were never movies that had people in them.
They were animal. Yeah. Yes. But you also pretended to be a dog for like
a significant portion of my childhood. Yeah. Yeah, my mother was like this close to taking me to a child psychologist, and all my teachers were like, nah, she'll grow out of it. I did eventually. It took a really long time. Sorry, Mom.
That's good.
It's my favorite game.
I'm glad you don't pretend to be a dog anymore.
Yeah, that would be a bit weird.
Did you have a different name?
No. I don't think we were doing like role play in that sense. It was just like, how can we avoid responsibility?
Yes.
Crawling around on the floor barking. Yeah, and I did a lot of reenacting scenes from movies that I liked. So I did a lot of reenacting scenes from Balto and the Homeward Bound movies.
Okay.
And also, weirdly, the Lion King movies, even though I wasn't a lion. I had one friend that I would go to her house a lot, and we would reenact the scene where Scar throws Mufasa off the ledge.
Yeah.
And we always wanted to do it on the staircase because
Of
that's
course.
the only place you can really have a cliff scene. And her mom would always get so mad, and she would be like, don't play on the stairs, because obviously it's not safe.
It's
and like, one of
dangerous.
us is going to fall. But we were like, where else can we pretend to throw each other off a cliff besides the staircase? She was like, you just have to use your imagination.
Did you take turns being Mufasa and
Yes.
Scar? Okay. That's so funny.
Yep. Yeah, and then we would alternate between that game was one of our favorites, and then also getting all the stuffed animals, lining them up, and tying them together with string so that we had a sled dog team
Cute.
to pull the laundry basket down the hallway.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then later on, when we were in like middle school, they got a pool in their backyard, an in-ground pool, and so then we did a lot of reenacting scenes in the pool as well.
Of course. Yeah. Always a great place for that.
Yeah.
We did water Olympics in the pool. Mermaids, obviously classic.
Yeah.
We so many childhood games growing up. It was crazy. And we also wrote a lot, like my friends and I, like fan fiction, books, whatever it was, like
Short stories.
Yeah. And we would make movies like on an old like camcorder. Ugh, those were the days.
I know.
We didn't know back then, but those were the days.
My friend, the same friend who we would reenact Lion King with, she introduced me to the concept of a drabble. Do you know what this is?
No.
I want to just find the actual definition. It's a short work of fiction, precisely 100 words in length, designed to test brevity and wit, is the official definition. However, in fan fiction, or I guess any kind of fiction really, it's just like a short story that you add. So, for example, Rachel Reed has the little like My Christmas or My Dinner with Hayden or whatever.
Yes.
That's like a supplemental story to just add to the lore of the characters.
Right.
It's not a full-length book.
Yeah.
It's not even really long enough to be considered a short story,
Right.
because it's just like
5
a scene pages or something.
Yeah,
a scene.
a vignette, if you will.
Right, exactly. So, but when I was in middle school, my friend introduced me to this concept, and the way that she explained it, which might just be a variation, is that you basically we did like verbal drabbles, where you just like start stream of consciousness, like making up a story on the fly as the characters like narrating something. And I have videos of us doing this in her basement at like 3 a.m. during sleepover. Because we were really into Aragon at the time, and so we had an Aragon fan fiction that was just ongoing forever,
Right.
where we like created our own characters and put them in the Aragon universe and like came up with this whole drama. My character was in love with Aragon, and hers was in love with Murtagh, because those were our respective favorite characters.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we started doing drabbles, and then they like turned into stories and like scenes and stuff of our characters. But
Love that.
so I read recently. I read The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. Or Stiefvater. And it's a really good series. I really enjoyed it. I devoured all 4 books in like 2 days. But she has one of those like supplemental short stories called A Minor Raven Boy's Holiday Drabble. And it was the first time I had seen that word in probably 10, 15 years. And I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember drabbles. I remember all these things we used to do together. And it just like opened the floodgates of the memories of all of the like, you know, 8th grade fan fiction writing before I even knew what fan fiction was.
Yes.
But I was like, oh, glad to know that word is alive and well.
Yeah.
And also when I looked it up, it's on Maggie Stiefvater's website. Minor. Hang on, I just want to find Raven Boys Holiday Travel. I was hoping it would have the like publication year, but I don't think so. Oh, December 23rd, 2015. So much newer than when I was doing it. But still ancient history already.
Yeah, honestly. Oh my gosh. 2015 was 11 years ago. Oh my gosh.
I know. December 2015, I was in Germany.
Wow.
I was spending Christmas in Germany.
December 2015. I was a junior in high school. No. Yes, I was a junior in high school.
Yeah, because you're 4 years behind me in school. It's crazy, man.
I know.
Where does the time even go?
I know. My gosh.
That was the moment when I started feeling really old, was when my Facebook memories were like 15 years ago. I was like, nope, I'm all set. I'm all set with that.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to have Facebook. I made a secret Facebook.
Right.
Junior year. And then one day I was like, okay, hiding is too much for me. So right when I made the Facebook, I immediately blocked both of my parents. And just like any family members. And then I just like had Facebook. And then one day I was like, okay, hiding it is just too much for me. So I just unblocked them and just friend requested them. And it's like, well.
Did you get in trouble or anything?
No, I don't think so.
How old were you by then?
I don't know. Like 16, 17.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend in high school who begged my parents to let me make a Facebook page.
That's so funny.
I was like indifferent. I was like, whatever, sure, I don't care. And so my friend just like begged my mom to let me do it. Honestly, I think she did it more out of like, I don't know, pity for my friend so that she could stop asking.
So funny. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have any social media whatsoever, technically, but I had all of it. So
I think my parents were like, I was in 8th grade and all of my friends were doing it, and my parents, my mom especially, was the type of mom where she was like, okay, if all of my other Christian friends are letting their Christian children do this, then it's probably fine.
See, my mom was the opposite. She was like, I don't care. Some families just don't have the same values as we do.
Oh, they definitely said that about certain things. But yeah, Tamagotchi was one of them for some reason. Yeah, I begged my mom for
Pokemon was
Tamagotchi.
a big one for us that we weren't allowed to have because
yeah,
I don't know why.
It's so weird.
I
It's
know.
just like little animal pets.
I know.
don't understand that.
It makes no sense, but whatever. What was I going to say though? Shoot. Oh, social media. Here's the thing. Here's my thing about social media. I was very unsafe in my social media usage habits back then. And I think that if my parents, like, if it was allowed and talked about,
Right.
like, and that's the thing with like harm reduction, you know, like obviously that's like a bigger example, but like, you know, I think when things are out in the open and talked about and discussed how to be used safely, then it's very different. I mean, I was talking to absolute strangers who were probably predators
Oh, yeah.
at 11 years old.
There's no way to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know.
Especially back then, I feel like just generally in society, online safety was not as big of a thing.
Not at all. And I mean, like, we were all on, like, online chat rooms and, like, do you remember Kik? Did you ever have Kik?
No, I never did any of the online chat rooms or any of that kind of stuff.
That was, like, the sleepover staple. Was we would all gather around a computer and, like, talk to strangers. Yes.
Wow. Ours was Guitar Hero and the karaoke game.
Well, that's so fun. I was seeing penis at a very young age.
Okay. No, I did not.
So, sorry, Mom.
Yeah, if your mom ever finds this podcast, she's going to be in for an awakening.
She has found it. She has listened.
Okay.
But I think she listened to like the first episode and was like, I don't have time for this.
Fair.
But yeah, what a wild ride. Middle school, high school, crazy.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's the same with anything. Sex, drugs, alcohol.
Rock and roll.
Like, you just, if the more you talk about it and like, you know, make it something that's not taboo.
Right.
The more likely children are to like ask you their questions instead of Googling them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't Google stuff.
Literally. You will regret it.
Yeah, Omegle was the online site that we always use. And there was like a feature where you could ask a question and then watch two other people talk about it.
Oh.
That was an interesting feature. You could also be the one to talk about questions. Right. So, yeah.
Omegle sounds like a website for people who are into the Omegaverse.
It does, doesn't it? And then there was this other one called Chattis. That one you could actually have. So, Omegle was like, talk to strangers or whatever. And like, you were just stranger one, stranger two. You didn't have like a profile or anything. Chattis, you did have a profile. You didn't put a picture. Like, you couldn't put a picture. Yeah. You could send pictures.
Okay.
Which I definitely did. Not like sexy pictures. No. But just like a selfie or whatever.
Yeah.
And the worst was when they would disconnect immediately after.
Oh, wow.
And then, but there would be times where somebody sent me a photo and I was like, no, you're not cute at all. But then I felt so terrible whenever somebody ended the chat on me, like disconnected immediately on me. And so I was like, well, I had to just like talk to them for a little bit and then be like, sorry, I have to go. Because I just felt so bad.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to choose to believe that the people who ended it immediately were like, nope, I'm not a predator. Like, you are a child. Goodbye.
Well, no, because you would send your ages back and forth. Like, you would say like, oh, well, okay. So the lingo was ASL, age, sex, location. So
okay.
You would give me how old you were, what gender you were.
We lived wildly different lives. I've never even heard of any of these websites you're telling me right now. It's like you're speaking a different language.
Yeah, it was bad.
And now I'm like, what was I even doing that I never even heard of this stuff?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Well, whatever my parents did to keep me safe online apparently worked.
It apparently worked.
Because I never heard of any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But also, there's definitely an element of like my parents were strict, but not as strict as your parents. Right. So I didn't do nearly as much like sneaking around.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like over strictness produces sneakiness.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember like being in my first week of freshman in college and somebody wanted to watch The Matrix with me and I called my dad to see if it was okay and he was like, Michaela, you're an adult now. Like, you don't have to ask me permission to do this stuff anymore.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, wow, you're so right. I feel so stupid. But it was just like my knee-jerk reaction that I
love
had
that
to ask
for
permission
you.
to watch movies.
I love that for you. Yeah, we had to, whenever we wanted to go see a movie, we would look up the plugged in review. So like,
yeah.
Okay, if I was going to ask my parents for permission to go to a movie with a friend, I would be locked and ready with the plugged in review, what time we were going, who was dropping us off, and what friends were all going to be there. And I would be like, look, Mom, plugged in says it's okay. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you should let me go.
I feel like all of my like friend interactions were scheduled through my parents.
Wow.
Like,
nope.
My friend's mom would call my mom and say, let's like, they want to do a sleepover, they want to do this. And so I never had to like beg my mom to go places because she would already know about it.
Nope. I even had to arrange my own transportation. Like,
yeah, I'm lucky in that respect because my closest friends were mostly within walking distance.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, I could walk to their houses. The one friend that I did all of the writing and travels and all that with, I would walk to her house all the time.
That's so nice.
So that was really nice. But I also didn't live in the kind of neighborhood where you lived.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You didn't have a drug house 5 houses down from you?
Nope.
There wasn't a shooting across the street?
Nope. We like never even locked my front door my whole childhood.
That's great.
I know, it's shocking, isn't it? I never thought twice about it. It was just normal. Like, nobody was gonna break in. Why would you do that? Why would you bother? And then I think once I went away to college, the neighborhood changed a little bit, and then my parents started locking the door, and I came home on breaks and I didn't have a key to the house because we never locked the house.
That's insane.
Yeah, and my husband's family is a lock every single door and every single window every time you even go out to like take out the trash.
Yeah,
type of family, even though they don't live in a dangerous area. That's just how they are.
That's crazy.
And so he was like, "What do you mean the house isn't locked?" I was like, "Why would it be locked? Like what? What do you mean you lock your front door?"
It's crazy.
I know. They lock it now, just in case anybody listening to this wants to break in. They lock it now.
Oh, man. Ugh,
yeah. My grandma would literally leave her cars in her car. I mean, her keys in her car because she was like, why would I bother taking them inside and then bring them back out again?
That's crazy.
And I remember one time when I was a kid, I asked her, like, what if someone steals your car? And she was like, if they want to go through the trouble, they need it more than I do. That was her answer.
So
I was like,
funny.
okay.
Wow. That's hilarious.
I know.
Different times, really.
Yeah, literally, we grew up on completely different planets.
Well, yeah, that's true. But also, I'm amazed that I was never, like, kidnapped or trafficked.
Yeah, that something worse didn't happen.
Yeah, yes. Was I scarred and traumatized by seeing images that I shouldn't have? Absolutely. But but I was in the safety of my own home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyways, on that note, do you have a poem?
I do. Okay.
I'm gonna call this one The Pursuit of Talking to Strangers Online.
Okay. Okay. So I have 2. One of them is called March because it's March now.
It is March.
It's by Jessica Ehrlich.
Oh yeah, I love her.
March waves goodbye to February, but February is never ready. She warms her hand. Don't let go, she says, not yet. So March takes her along for beach walks and ocean dips, ice creams and sunsets. She feels like a mailed postcard, a new coat, a collage of love notes. She brings you clear morning skies and a gentle evening breeze. She floats like she knows secrets, cheeks ripe and rested. When you fall, March tells you to take your time, that there is gold in the growing, and so February leaves knowing that she too will rise again.
I like that.
Right? I like that it's like February doesn't want to go, so March takes her along. It feels like that because it's like still cold.
Still cold. But today felt
Today
nice.
was nice, yeah.
I rolled the windows down. I was listening to my music. I was singing loudly, and it was divine.
Yeah, spring vibes.
Yeah.
This next one, when I read it, I thought about the hubbub going on versus the men's and the women's hockey team at the Olympics.
Ah, yes.
It is by Ada Limon. How to Triumph Like a Girl. I like the lady horses best, how they make it all look easy. Like running 40 miles per hour is as fun as taking a nap or grass. I like their lady horse swagger after winning. Ears up, girls, ears up. But mainly, let's be honest, I like that they're ladies. As if this big dangerous animal is also a part of me, that somewhere inside the delicate skin of my body, there pumps an 8-pound female horse heart, giant with power, heavy with blood. Don't you want to believe it? Don't you want to lift my shirt and see the huge beating genius machine that thinks, no, it knows it's going to come in first.
I love that so much. Happy Women's Month.
Oh, yeah.
It was International Women's Day the other day. Is it Women's History Month or is it just...
I don't know. Why not both?
We should know these things. Anyways. Anyway.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.